At the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month, when the guns of the great war at last fell silent, the fury of conflict was replaced by a deafening silence.
Today it is fitting that, with this ceremony of rededication, we pay tribute to all those Canadians who in the intervening years have laid down their lives in the service of peace, justice, and freedom.
The day I shipped out, they numbered a dozen. Upon my return, we're 100 or so. From the coast and from the prairies, I bet they keep coming. Add one more name from Ontario and carry me home down the highway of heroes. People above with the flags flying low. Carry me softly down the highway of heroes. True patriot love, there was never more. I served with distinction, no visions of glory. I served without question of personal gain. Seek no justification, it's not part of my story, and it offers no comfort to the ones who remain. Just carry me home down the highway of heroes. People above, but the flags flying low. Carry me softly down the highway of heroes. True patriot love, there was never more. Took up my vocation, I was called by my nation without hesitation. My answer I gave. Now I'm not wondering the things that I might have been are no consolation to the forgotten brave. So carry me home down the highway of heroes. People above with the flags flying low. Carry me softly down the highway of heroes. True patriot love, there was never more. Carry me home down the highway of heroes. People I love with their hands on low. And carry me softly down the highway of heroes. True patriot love, there was never more. 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 There was never more.
From the violence that transformed this national memorial to military sacrifice into a place of military sacrifice. A place where an unknown soldier and a soldier now known to us all lay side by side in death, having accepted to bravely stand on guard for our nation and for its values, rights, and freedoms. We remember them, O God.
Well, good day, friends. Today is Remembrance Day, a day where on the 11th hour of the 11th month of the 11th day in 1918, World War I came to an end, and the armistice was signed. This date was set aside to honor those who fell in the war, and its name used to be called Armistice Day. Later, in order to include all those who were killed in subsequent wars, the name was changed to Remembrance Day. This was done in the Commonwealth countries. Remembrance Day is the day when we remember people who lost their lives defending their countries and their values and their freedoms. On the days leading up to Remembrance Day, people wear a poppy, much like this one, a symbol of remembrance. What is so special about a poppy on Remembrance Day? Why not use a pansy or something like that? Well, scarlet poppies grow naturally in conditions of disturbed earth throughout Western Europe. The destruction brought by the Napoleonic Wars of the early 19th century transformed bare land into fields of blood-red poppies growing around the bodies of the fallen soldiers. In late 1914, the fields of northern France and Flanders were once again ripped open as the First World War raged through Europe's heart. The significance of the poppy as a lasting memorial symbol to the fallen was realized by a Canadian surgeon by the name of John McCrae in his poem In Flanders Fields. The poppy came to represent the immeasurable sacrifice made by his comrades, and it quickly became a lasting memorial to those who died in the First World War and in later conflicts. Listen to the words of this great poem. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. When the fighting ceased in 1918, the mud of the battlefields was allowed to rest, and nature began to restore, and before long, the wildflowers grew and bloomed, including the poppy. The color of red reminded people of the bloodshed and the sacrifice by millions of brave soldiers who gave their lives for our freedom. And so the poppy became a symbol of sacrifice. Today, those of us in the church also have a symbol. It's called the cross of Jesus Christ. In John chapter 15 and verse 13, we read these words, "Greater love has no one than this, that one would lay down his life for his friends." And that's what Jesus did for you and I. God loved this world so much. God loved his creation so much that he was willing to give up his son for our freedom and for our forgiveness. He sent his only son to die on a cruel Roman cross for you and I. The cross for Christians today is a symbol of sacrifice. Two great symbols of sacrifice, the poppy and the cross. You may be familiar with the poppy, and today we remember those who died for our freedom. But let us also never forget the cross and what it cost our Heavenly Father. Today, we celebrate the great men and women who have given their lives to fight for our freedom. Those who today serve in our armed forces and our army, we celebrate them and remember them and thank them for their sacrifice. We also remember, though, today, the fallen, those who made the ultimate sacrifice and gave up their lives for our freedom and for our nation. So today, let us not forget what this poppy signifies, the sacrifice that was made by men and women in support of our great country of Canada. Let us remember them today, lest we ever forget what they did for us. I would invite you right now to join me in a moment of silence as we remember those who have fought and died for our country and for our freedom.